It is Monday morning. We're talking about our meal plan for the week. We are actually going out of town at the end of this week for quite a while. So I'm trying to use up the things in my fridge that'll go bad and even things in my pantry as well. So I'm really excited to announce this. It's rice and beans week. That's right. We all knew it was coming, and this is the week. So rice and beans are amazing, and I think more people should make them. It's like the cheapest meal, and there's so many different ways to make them. I think probably every nationality has their own like version of rice and beans. We are gonna make black beans, Chipotle black beans to have over rice. That'll probably be more of a lunch thing. And then some pan-fried quinoa and chickpeas with probably some broccolini. Yeah, do you want water? Here. Do you have a mouthful of toasty? And then for the third rice and bean meal this week, I'm gonna be making kidney bean masala. And it's funny because I struggled to think of a third meal for a little bit, and then I realized that this is like probably my favorite meal to make for our family. I would say kidney bean masala is like that fallback meal I have. I feel like everybody should have one of those where you almost always have all the ingredients and it's pretty simple to whip up and everybody likes it. That's definitely what that is for me. And that recipe is from that cookbook that I mentioned in my first episode, One Pan, Two Plates. So I can't link that one in the down bar, but again, it's my favorite cookbook and I'm gonna be using it a lot. So all the other recipes I definitely will have linked in the description box, so check it out down below. Let's hop right into it. So right now I'm working on the Chipotle black beans, and I'm just trying to get this done before lunchtime. It's currently almost 9, so that should be good. This morning when I woke up, I don't know what came over me, but I just felt inspired. It was wonderful. So I started up some vegetable broth. I also soaked some black beans in boiling water this morning. I think it's 14 ounces of black beans, right? Yeah, 14 ounces of dried black beans, supposed to be soaked overnight, but once again, I forgot. I promise I do occasionally remember to soak beans ahead of time, but it's really not the biggest deal and it shouldn't stop you from making a recipe like this. So I'm just gonna drain these beans and then stick them in my pot with some cold water. We've got rice and beans both cooking on the stove right now, and I just looked through my fridge and I found 3 potatoes that I'm going to pan fry up into some home fry hash brown things because I didn't have a recipe to use them in this week, and otherwise I'd have to throw them out at the end of the week when we leave for our trip. So here goes. Today we are making kidney bean masala, and I started making this recipe about a half hour before dinner and it was ready by the time we wanted to eat, so it's pretty quick and delicious. I'm also snacking on a little piece of pizza. I had made this the night prior and it'll be in next week's video, which is going to be a what I bake in my week video, so look out for that and subscribe if you want to get in on that video. Pretty soon you're gonna see me pull a jar of minced ginger out of my freezer, and that's actually how I always use ginger pretty much. I will buy a big old hand of it, throw it in my blender with a little bit of water, and then pour it into an ice cube tray, and then put it into a jar. And that's always ensures that I've got fresh ginger on hand, so I just put a cube into whatever I'm making that calls for it. Also, I'm using the rice left over from yesterday's rice and beans meal, and it was looking a little bit lackluster, so I just splashed a little water on it, stuck the lid on, put it in the microwave for a couple of minutes, and it steamed itself back to life. The whole kitchen and house always smells amazing after cooking this meal, and it usually lasts to the next day, so I have to light a candle if I want that scent to be gone. And of course I'm chopping up tons of cilantro, because whenever cilantro goes on top of a meal, I like to make sure there's a lot of it because it's just so good. I dropped my camera again, so there's that, but here's how the meal turned out, and it was really warming and filling and just one of my very favorites. Welcome to Wednesday. It is dinner time, and I wanted to share this dinner because I just wanted you to know that everything is not always freshly homemade every night and perfect. Tonight we are having some weird leftovers, so it is rice and beans week, yes. So Cody's gonna eat black beans, rice, and some avocado. I'm going to eat the last of the kidney bean masala and rice. And Saffron is eating pretty much all the leftovers in our fridge. Some feta cheese, some Brussels sprouts from last week's meal that are probably a little old, but I'm gonna let her try them anyway. I wanted to share this because I think it's really important to eat through your fridge and to really take a look at what you've got in there and how you can best use it, especially on the week before you're leaving for somewhere. So often we overbuy and overestimate the amount of food that we're going to eat, but really sometimes you just need a couple of odds and ends and leftovers to form an entire meal if you can think through it like that. So I'm just going to encourage you to look at your fridge and pause before you buy anything else. We are leaving tomorrow for our trip, so today I am making our third rice and beans meal, and it's going to be our lunch today and also our meal on the plane tomorrow. So it's going to be quinoa with pan-fried chickpeas, also some kale that I've got left over that I need to use up, a bell pepper, some onion. I'm basically just throwing whatever produce I have left in my fridge at this meal, and I think it'll turn out great. So I'm probably just gonna speed this one up for you. I'm starting out with a couple tablespoons of coconut oil in a large pan, and I'm just getting that heating up for my garbanzo beans. It's really important that the garbanzo beans are very dry before you fry them up, or else it's going to start sputtering and it's going to take a lot longer to cook them. So I used this method from Alton Brown that I had never used before of spinning them in a salad spinner, and it worked very well. They were really dry and it was great. I also sauteed up some peppers and onions, and now I'm sauteing up some kale. I did end up seasoning the chickpeas with some garlic powder and some ginger powder. This meal was delicious that day, and it also worked wonderfully as a meal on the plane. They definitely got jostled around in my backpack, but thankfully nothing spilled, and it ended up just being all shaken together deliciously. I put feta cheese on top because I had to use it up, and I was not mad about that. I love feta cheese, and a sprinkle of lemon as well for some freshness. I just wanted to pop in here at the end and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking around through the whole video to the end, and if you made it this far, make sure you like and also subscribe to my channel for new videos like this every Sunday. This was a bit of a shorter video, so I hope you enjoyed that format and got some inspiration for maybe a rice and bean week of your own. As always, the recipes that I used will be linked in the description box of this video, as well as the cookbook that I mentioned, and I hope you guys all have a great week of cooking.